Macro here, and we're going to be doing DJKhenny's mechanical box mods today. Yeah, check them out. So this is just one of the variants that they have. This is made of Malave wood. They have one, they have a version, a variant in Camagong. I believe they also have one in Red Nara. So yeah, that's basically what they look like. They're dual 18650 configs. By the way, the reason I have two is because this little one on the right, your left, my right, is version 1 of the newer batches. The second one right here is version 2, which is a single cut piece of wood. They call it the Unibox, whereas this one is sort of parted out, see? Yeah, we got multiple parts cut together, stuck to one another. I'm not sure how they did it, but the geniuses over at the mill that DJKhenny and his family own were able to work it out such that these babies actually hit pretty hard. Now, I'm going to talk a bit about the differences between the two. Some of them are very prominent, like aesthetic differences. Version 1 has a bit of an ergonomic grip thing going on right here, see? Check it out like that. Alright. The Unibox is, it's a lot more fluid in terms of design, but you'd be surprised when you grip it in your hand. It's still fairly ergonomic. I mean, it fits where your fingers would naturally fall if it were clutching a long, hard object. No malice intended. But that's basically the main difference between the two. Both of them fit dual 18650s if you check it out. There you go. This one only has one because my other VTC is gone. But the Unibox has a bit of difficulty fitting nippled batteries. I had to have mine slightly tweaked so it would fit nippled batteries as well. But it fits both button top and flat top batteries pretty fine. The other difference is the door. If you check it out, this one has like 3 magnets on top, and the other one just has 2. But the way they latch on is they latch on pretty sneak. Yeah, there. Yeah, it's a very sleek fix. The surefire way to differentiate the two is the engraving on the version 2. Because if you check it out, the other one has none, obviously. Yeah, I'm pointing out the obvious here, but it says the Nerd. I'm not sure why it says the Nerd. Then it has that little glasses guy with the mustache on it, like that. Another difference is the juice well. If you check out the recess on this thing, it's a lot deeper. So 22 millimeter atomizers would fit really snug in there. The version 1 has an aluminum juice well. Both have copper contacts for the pins, and both feature self-adjusting pins. Can you get a shot of the pin? They're self-adjusting because if you looked at the inside earlier, there's no real way for you to adjust the pins from the inside. But they are self-adjusting. I think they load with a spring. They go down nice and snug like that. The amp limit on the firing switches is also one of the upgrades to the Unibox version, because I tried this with dual VTCs, the version 1, and for some reason the firing switch would heat up if I was firing a sub-ohm coil using dual VTCs. Maybe it just pushes the limit of what the what the switch can handle. But with the brass one right here, I haven't encountered any of that problem. I had it with a 0.5 ohm coil. It was a dual coil setup, and it wasn't heating up at all compared to this, the stainless steel one, which for some reason is heating up like a motherfucker. But if you look at the wells, I haven't cleaned this in a while. The aluminum gets a bit gunky with all that stuff, and it looks really nasty. But with the brass well, it's a lot easier to maintain. You know, you just take a piece of dry cloth, wipe it off a bit, dampen it, then wipe it off some more. Just don't use any textured cloth because it might scratch it up. But if you notice, this has a recess right here. So there's a bit of a protruding portion over here which makes tanks fit nice and snug. K-Fun looks really sweet on it, and so does a Ruzgar. The aluminum well, because of the way that this gunky buildup accumulates, makes it tough to unscrew certain atomizers that would flush all the way down. I've had trouble screwing out the immortalizer from it, but I haven't encountered that problem with the version 2. Overall, the performance is, they're fairly approximate. I don't notice any significant difference, maybe in terms of what battery I'm using, but when it comes to the actual conductivity and the performance of each of the mods, I don't have any trouble. So I'm going to kill the electric fan for a bit. It's just really, really freaking hot here. But we're going to soak this baby up. So I have it on a single coil. Using a tripole atomizer. Nine milligrams of nicotine, overdose. Yesy. Let's give it a test shot. So I have this on a single VTC. And it's really chucking it. I mean, I was surprised because I remember measuring this against some mechanical mods back with some friends over at Vape Tuners about a year ago. Because DJKhenny has been putting these out for a while. He's had these out for more than a year. But this version, these two versions actually, are fairly recent. These were both released this year. He had some earlier ones which were nowhere near as pretty as these, but they were hitting really, really well. And I can see that that hasn't changed because with the Unibox we're getting really solid hits. See, the wiring on it, if you can get a shot of the internals on this thing, looks fairly simple. I don't know jack shit about box mods. I couldn't make one to save my life and my mother's, but basically this is what it looks like on the inside. Pretty simple, really. Like a single wire crawling up the negative over there into the positive, and there you go. It's like a single wire crawling all the way up, which is similar to what the version 1 has. So just to be fair, I'm going to use the same battery and the same atomizer on the version 1 just to give you a head-to-head of the two. I don't think they're making any more of these with a hand groove. If they are, I think you're going to have to make a special request for that. Oh, and I don't know if it comes stock with this, but yeah, it has that sticker on it. Yeah, it looks pretty tacky. I'm not really a big fan of the sticker. But can you get a shot of it there? Yeah, there you go. So we're going to be using a single VTC on it as well. And give it a spin. Oh, there you go. Alright, so as you can see, it hits pretty damn hard for a mechanical box mod. I mean, I never really expected mechanical boxes to hit this hard. I remember back when they released one of the earlier versions, it had a varnished finish, and it was a lot, it was a lot more synthetic, if you will, for me. So I didn't really like it back then, but when they came out with the raw versions like these, I like the finish on it. The Kamagong version, the Ironwood version, looks really, really good. I mean, it's a flat black finish. They have some with like a tiger stripe pattern. He came out with some limited releases, but these are the more marketable ones, the more accessible ones. Why am I doing the mechanical one versus the TI chip enabled one? Because TI chip enabled ones are pretty common. I wanted to showcase how hard this thing could hit, considering that it's just made of wood and wire, and I was a big fan of the whole simple concept, and it leaves a lot of room for DIYing. So those are, that's basically the DJKhenny box mod for you. The differences are very minimal, maybe negligible, but you'd be surprised at how well they perform. The difference between the two, it's very minimal. But I like overall the way that this looks because of the lack of this hand groove. I'm not a big fan of the groove. The pricing on it is at 2,500 pesos for the Malave version. For the Ironwood or Camagong version, it's at 3,500. And you can stock these, you can pick them up pretty much anywhere. You can send DJ Kenny a message on Facebook, and he replies pretty quick. I don't even think that guy sleeps, because I've sent him messages at like 3 in the morning, and he replies right away. It's really sick. But you know, these are amazing wooden box mods. I was a huge fan of how hard they hit, and I think you guys are going to be too. I don't know if you guys are sold on the whole Unibox thing, but just to show you one last bit, they can fit nippled batteries just fine. We're going to screw on another atomizer on it just real quick and give it a test fire. Alright, just give it one last pull using an upgraded immortalizer. So even with an immortalizer, this thing will not put you to shame. If you're going for cloud chasing, if you're going for sick as fuck battery life, then you're definitely gonna love how this thing performs. So that's basically it. Thank you very much, Kenny. I really appreciate it. These are really fun mods. Thanks for putting these out. You just keep making more of them, make them consistent as you always have, and you know, people are gonna love it. I loved it, so I'm sure as shit other people will too. So y'all have a good evening, and vape hard, fellas. Catch your own soon.